When I handed my notice in, I was terrified, nervous, and actually had thoughts of what am I doing? But as soon as I joined that first call, that completely left, and it was the best decision that I ever made. Hey, I'm Katie. I'm a personal trainer and an online coach, and I qualified through the PFCA. My initial passion for fitness sparked probably when I was really young. My mum used to take me to her fitness classes, and I would sit on the sidelines watching. So I guess it's sort of been embedded from a really young age, but where I think what really got me into it was going through some things in life, some hard times, and it was really like an escape for me more than anything else. And then that just turned into a real passion, I guess. It evolved over time. I got consistent with it, started seeing some amazing results, and then it just went from there. The PFCA made me realise that I could turn my passion into a career by really providing me with the tools and the education that they did. Like when I first started out, I had no idea the knowledge and the education that was required to actually be a good coach. I think there's a coach and then there's a coach that actually knows what they're talking about. So I think don't be fooled if you think you're great at training and that you know your stuff in the gym. Being a coach is a whole other ball game, and I think that that's what they taught me, and that's what I've taken away from it the most. So I was in a job at the time, in an industry, in a career actually, not just the job, that I wasn't feeling fulfilled in. So I would wake up not really feeling particularly excited about going. I would leave feeling unfulfilled with my day of work. So I knew that there was something that needed to change. In my previous role, I got myself to earning a pretty decent wage. So the thought of going back to zero, not having any clue where I was going to get my clients from or how this was going to work, was by a country mile the biggest worry for me. So when I initially took the leap, it was scary, to be honest. It was quite nerve-wracking at the time. I actually came in a week late, so I felt like I was the new kid in class as well, so that was quite intimidating. But really quickly, all of the nerves subsided when you sort of got to know the people that you were in the class with, but most importantly, the guys who were teaching the education. Like maths was a huge part of that for me. In a group setting, of course, we could sit there on one particular topic and talk about it for a really long time, and he wouldn't stop until you thoroughly understood, like you actually understood, where I feel like a lot of courses would just be like, nah, they've got the information. So for me, it was just like the pennies dropped, I understand, and it keeps you going because when you have more knowledge, you become more enthusiastic about the topic. What drives me as a coach, I think definitely helping others. So seeing people initially come through the door, they know exactly what they want to achieve, building a plan, and then gradually through the weeks, seeing that plan really come into fruition, making amazing relationships with my clients as well, having them trust me and trust the process, seeing my clients achieve their goals and achieving things that they never thought was possible is an absolute win for me. I have clients that within the sort of 3-4 month period that we've been working together have completely transformed their lives. But most of all, I think the coolest thing out of everything is that they've come in not being uncertain or unsure that they're even into fitness and they even like the gym, to then now becoming hooked in the gym themselves every day, not just doing the one session a week for us. So it's great to see that the influence I'm having on my clients is actually enabling them to live a healthier life that will hopefully mean that they'll live longer and be a healthier person as a whole. So that's just the best achievement ever for me. I wouldn't say there was a hesitation, but there was definitely a thing around cost. The PFCA was definitely, without a doubt, the most expensive course that I came across online. But that said, I did lots of digging, I did lots of research into this, and by a mile, the PFCA stood out to me more than any other. I'd also asked around, and the PFCA was the one that I heard a few times too. So I've got friends that went to uni and they've been studying for 7, 8, 9 years, got their degree, got the job, paid really well. They absolutely hate it. They're not enjoying it. They don't feel fulfilled, but they feel the sense to stay where they are because of all of the work they've put in before. And I guess that's kind of how I felt a little bit. There was a real resistance to just sort of throwing it all away. However, now I'm doing this, I'm not quite where I was financially, but I've got a clear trajectory of how I'm going to get there. And also the sky's the limit. It's like there's not really any cap on where I can take this. And I think for me, that is the most exciting part out of everything.